right, thank you for tuning in to KPOO San Francisco 89.5 FM. You were just listening to a track between Goapele and E-40, and right now the lovely Goapele joins me on the phone. How are you?
I'm great, just enjoying this Bay Area sunshine.
It's ridiculously nice this weekend. I don't know what it is.
It is.
But none of that 100-degree heat right now. It's fantastic.
I know.
Goapele,
or overcast. It's like the dream.
you are you grew up in the Bay Area, correct?
Mm-hmm. In Oakland and Berkeley.
Oh, very nice. And again, everybody, I'm speaking with Goapele, who's going to be at Yoshi's Wednesday through Saturday, the 28th through the 31st of May. 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. are the show times. For tickets, go to yoshis.com, and one lucky caller at the end of the show gets a free pair, too. So, but thank you for joining me.
Nice. My pleasure, my pleasure. I'm happy to be back in the Bay Area. I'm always happy to do Yoshi's, and I go back and forth between Oakland and San Francisco, and this week is San Francisco.
Very nice. And have you ever done 4 nights in a row?
Mm-hmm. I've been doing 4 nights in a row for a little while now.
And is that taxing on you? Do you get a little tired on Saturday night?
Yeah, I definitely get tired. It's like running a marathon, so I kind of have to pace myself out. But it also gets, I feel like, more and more exciting, and some crowds are really lively, and then it kind of feeds us on stage and somehow kind of boosts that endurance up, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure.
So it ends up being a good time.
And it's not just 4 shows. It's 8 shows over 4 nights, so definitely a lot of work.
Yeah, but I'll be there with the live band, and I'll be sharing a little bit of new music so people can get kind of a early sneak preview at some of what they'll be hearing on the album that's coming out this fall.
Right, and your most recent album, I think, was Break of Dawn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was 2009, and for everybody out there listening to, you can pick that up on iTunes along with your other albums, Even Closer, Change It All. You've done a lot in 10 years or so. When did you notice when you started singing? Like, who was the first person to let you know that you really had a unique talent?
I don't really remember one person pointing it out, but, my parents loved music and valued the arts and exposed, me and my brother to a lot of live music growing up. So I'd sing around the house, and then started going to youth conferences and retreats with Be Present and this organization, EYES, and instead of talking in front of the crowd, sometimes, I was part of the youth leadership, but I'd be like, I can sing a song. That's what I feel a little more comfortable doing. And I felt like it had an effect on the crowd, and I felt like it touched people. And so it made me want to do that more. I've always loved music, but I really appreciate feeling like it's having some kind of effect on the energy.
Mm-hmm. And who did you...
Yeah, so I don't know. That was probably like in junior high or something.
I see. Who was really influencing you musically at that time?
Actually, one of the groups that I think was really influential on me when I was a teenager was Sweet Honey in the Rock.
Oh, wow.
And it's not something that we hear on the radio at all, but I would go see them live. My mom would take me. It was this a cappella women's group, and it formed kind of out of a political movement. And I feel like growing up in the Bay Area, it's like people are more politically minded and politically aware, so it's like it was something beautiful, but it was also saying something about what was going on. So that's kind of where I started. And then I started making up my own versions of songs over whatever the hottest, hip-hop track was at that time. And my brother was a DJ with Local 1200, so I would, sing, I'd sing some song over It's Bigger Than Hip-Hop, or sing some song over Explosive, or sing some song over the 50 Cent track, or whatever that was.
That's awesome.
Yeah, until I got my own band. So it's kind of, a evolution, and then started writing my own songs. And then that's when Closer came out and the other albums that followed.
Well, I wanted to bring this up, too, because I just played your song Got It with E-40. You must have been listening to E-40 long before you got to work with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what was that like? What was it like working with him in a studio?
It was really fun. I said he's a charismatic person, and the way he raps is the way he talks.
Yeah.
And so it's just fun to be around him and, listen to what he's saying. And I'm happy that the collaboration came off where I could still do my own thing and he could do his own thing, and where it felt fitting. Because if you listen to our albums, it's, in different genres, but I felt like we could still meet in the middle ground. I feel like we both are fans of funk music and good bass lines and stuff like that. So it was nice to be able to do something over a track like that.
That's great. I had DJ Torre in here from Hieroglyphics a few weeks ago, and you did a track on that. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, your voice sounds so good with a hip-hop artist. I mean, it sounds great on its own, but it works really well in hip-hop for some reason. I'm trying to figure out why. What do you think it is?
I don't know. I like that edge. When some of the first recordings I did was with the Hieroglyphics and Souls of Mischief, and actually they were really supportive in me getting distribution, and our family label Skyblaze getting the put out even closer on a national level. And I think a lot of hip hop music, when it comes down to the music, it's really soulful, but it has funky bass lines, and then the drums are hitting, and I think that's something that's always resonated with me. And then I can sing laid back, I can sing however I want to, and it can just kind of give it a juxtaposition,
No, it sounds great. You're right. You toned down some of these harsh rappers, in my opinion, that would normally, I love listening to E-40, but every once in a while you want to hear them slow down a little bit, and that's when you come on, and it sounds great.
Thank you.
And I wanted to speak to you, too. In addition to being a fantastic singer-songwriter, you have your own label, Skyblaze, which I think that's such a cool name. It sounds like a new James Bond movie. So what can you tell me about your label? Is it just you, or are you going to bring on other artists?
It's been just me, and then there's been other producers, that have been associated with it coming out of the Bay Area. And I think it mainly was just a vehicle to get my music out and not feel like I was going to be pressured by the industry to do something that was other than me. I think, growing up, there was so many nightmare stories about artists having to change who they were, for marketability. And I felt like the kind of music I was doing, especially when I started, I didn't hear a lot of other people doing it, and I didn't want to be convinced at my own dream. And I feel like there's also a long legacy in the Bay Area, with Too Short and Hieroglyphics and Martin Luther and different people where they have put out their own music with their own means and just kind of been hand to hand. And so it felt like that's doable, and then we can grow from there and, build a fan base and stuff like that, and then let the industry come. And then it'll feel like I'm doing a deal on my own terms.
Well, that's great.
So I've been thankful that it kind of, flowed that way. And then, there's also been, we partnered with Sony for Change It All. And then with Break of Dawn, that album, partnered with another independent label. And then now this album that's going to come out in the fall, partnered up with Primary Wave, which is a newer company that has a long history with music publishing and CeeLo and different folks.
Well, was that scary at all, though, to try to do it on your own terms as opposed to going the traditional popularity route, or however you want to put it, going through a normal studio? Was it scary to try to do it on your own?
To be honest with you, it was scarier trying to do it big.
Wow.
For some reason, starting off small was not scary because it felt like it was more tangible, and I was more in control of it. And I think growing has always been something that has been more intimidating for me. And I think the longer I'm in the business, the more thankful I am for more exposure and the more of a platform I want. And now I want a wider audience and all of that. But starting off, I don't know, I was more scared of the pressure. So I was like, okay, I want to do it on my own and feel, empowered, and that actually felt better.
That's great.
And then when people start liking your music, it's like, okay, I'm doing this for a reason,
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense the way you put it. I wanted to say, too, I love this quote. Rolling Stone magazine said you're the spiritual love child between Sade and D'Angelo. And it made me think, who would be your dream collaborator that you could do a track with? I have always wanted to work with D'Angelo, and we've talked about it before, so I love that quote. And there's a lot of people that I would love to work with. I actually just worked on a song with Snoop that probably is an unexpected collaboration, but someone that I've been a fan of since high school. That's awesome.
And yeah, it's just a super dope, cool person, and so I'm really excited about that.
When can we hear that, do you think?
I don't know. Hopefully sometime this summer.
Okay, that sounds awesome. I'm going to be waiting for that. Thank you so much, Goapele, for calling in. Again, you can go out and see her at Yoshi's in San Francisco Wednesday through Saturday, the 28th through the 31st, 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. shows. Yoshis.com for tickets. And for one lucky caller in a minute, I'm going to give away a pair to a Thursday night show. But thank you so much. I have one last question, which is if you could do a performance with either Prince or Michael Jackson's hologram, who would you pick?
I would say live in the flesh. I'm always going to choose over
Prince.
A hologram.
Yeah.
And I did get to do a show with Prince actually a while back when he had his 3121 club in Vegas. He invited me out to do a show, and I was up there with the band, and then he came up, and jammed with us.
That's awesome.
And that was like, yeah, it was. And I would love to do more with him. I mean, he's really one of the best performers that's still alive.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for calling in. Have some great shows at Yoshi's, and hopefully you can come into the studio at some point in the near future.
I would love to. And I look forward to sharing the new song, Hey Boy, with you guys.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, let me know when that comes out, and also the Snoop Dogg song I can't wait for.
Definitely.
All right, thanks, Goapele.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
See you this week.
Take care.
Bye.